video we finished off at the legalities. So we have the barcode here, we have the recycle logo, contact us information, and all that type of stuff. So now we're going to be focusing on the main brand and also the sub brand here. Okay, so let's have a look at different typefaces. Okay, so I'll just open up my web browser here, and you'll see here that I've got fonts.google.com, which is one good location for free fonts to use. You can download the fonts completely free to use. There's also DaFont, and you can find some interesting typefaces in here. Some of these fonts in DaFont are partial fonts, meaning that some characters are missing because they want you to purchase the rest of the typeface. Okay, so just be cautious of that when you are looking at the font. Okay, so now my main brand, which is Mangiamo, I might actually just have Mangia, which means just eat in Italian, and I might look around for that. So let's try the fonts, or in fact let's try Google Fonts first, and you can go under categories and you can change it to, let's say, maybe handwriting or sans serif fonts. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Right, so now it's found all the sans serif and the handwritten. Now that's 449 fonts. If you want, you can go through them. You can reduce the sizes down, but it doesn't really make that much difference. Let's find the spot where it starts to shift down, and you can just flick through them. Okay, so if you find something that you like, something that is bold would be good for a branding logo. So flick through there. I've actually already pre-prepared and found the fonts that I've found that I like. Okay, and they were on, by chance, by the way, they were on DaFont. And the way I found them was that I went over to Fancy section and Groovy. Okay, and I liked the typeface called Chinchist, and there was another typeface that I liked which was called Magel as well. Where's Magel? I think it's in the second page. Magel. Where are we? I think it's in the third one. Anyway, Magel's there somewhere. Let's look for Magel. Magel. And there it is. So I'm going to use that for the Munja main brand and the Chinchist for the sub brand. Okay, now you can download them by just going over to download over there. It'll download a zip file, and you just need to install it after that. So the zip file will open up depending on what operating system you have and everything like that. It'll open up, and then you need to double click, or you need to install it in some way. Okay, you need to also close Illustrator and then open up Illustrator again for the font to work. So let's jump into Adobe Illustrator again, and I'm going to create a new file. In fact, let's save our file first. Command S, and let's go to File, New, and let's try a few things out. So A3 size, let's go to Landscape again, and let's try this out. Okay, so I'm just going to use the Type tool, click once, and I'm going to type in here oh no, I spelled it wrong, Mungia. And we've also got one that is called bread mix. So the bread mix one, I'm just going to type in here bread. All right, and you'll see the reason for this. Okay, and then mix. Okay, and we also need herb, don't we? Because it's herb bread mix. All right, so there. I'm just going to zoom in now. So let's have a look at this. Okay, I might start off with the herb bread mix one first, so just to give you a nice example of what you can do. Okay, so this is going to take some time. You can fast forward and rewind it as much as you like. Okay, all right, so let's change the type over, the font. So we go over to type, go to font. You can do it like that. Okay, or you can open up the font area, which is under type, character, and my character one is already open. Okay, so it's right over here on mine, and I am using the Essentials tool palette. So let's try this out. So we'll go over here, and we're going to choose for the herb bread mix. We're going to use Genchist. Hopefully it's loaded. There it is. Okay, so let's increase the size of this a bit. Okay, so I need to try and find some sort of way to make this look nice. All right, and thinking about how my pack comes together as well. Okay, so I need to at times flick back to this and think, where is the type going to go? So I'm going to have the type through here, just over top of the bread. Okay, and I need to have it compacted. So I can't have it so it's all in one line. It needs to be compacted somehow. So I need to sort of find a really nice sort of thing where these words are mixed together somehow. All right, so you might have in here herb mix. No, because you don't see herb first, you think it's bread herb. Okay, so you need to sort of think about how this connects up together. That doesn't work either. Sometimes you might think, oh, you know, I need to change to a different typeface, and that's all right. Just a little bit of space in there with the mix. Maybe I like to try something like that, okay? And I might sort of put it on a bit of an angle of some sort, or what have you. Always check to see if there's another option for the character itself. Sometimes there is an italic or something like that. This is already italic. This is designed as an italic. So some things with this typeface is that the kerning needs to be done. So kerning is our next project, but I'll sort of jump into this so you can understand it. So you see here that the B and the R don't link up together, and there's a huge gap between them, okay? So the font wasn't designed for B and R, the capital B and the R to be together. So you need to go into it right here. So you need to go in between the B and the R, and you need to go over to your character, and where it says kerning right here. So by the way, kerning is the distance between each character, between each individual character, and tracking is the spacing between all characters of the type. So let's go into kerning, and we're going to reduce it down to, let's say, -25, or let's bring it down a little bit more, -50, and it's just starting to touch now. Think about the spacing between this relationship, the spacing here, and this relationship here and there, okay? So this is as far as I'm willing to go and to keep it legible still, okay? So I might sort of try playing around with this herb mix sort of thing here. Let's try a few different variants of this. And please keep this in your folio too, which then this is under the experimentation of your type. So here is a rotation of 10.13 degrees. So it's not really quite working there. Let's see if this might work. This might work actually. This might just work. All right, so it's more of a logo now, which can be placed and stacked. Okay. All right. So there we go. So you can see that I wasn't exactly accurate with the rotation. You can click on the rotation tool and be nice and accurate there. Okay, so let's say I like this. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Shift, moving it across, and then Option or Alt on the PC to bring it across. All right, and what you can do now is you make sure you select it, and then you press these keyboard combinations. It is Shift Command O, and that outlines the type. Okay, it's no longer set as a font. You can't edit this anymore. And then I'm going to go over to Pathfinder. So let's go to Window to bring Pathfinder up. Pathfinder is up now. It's on the other screen. So I'm just going to bring it across over here. And I'm going to select this one here, which is Unite. So you see now that this is one unit of here. Okay, so let's go into the braid mix over here, and let's modify using the direct selection tool. I'm going to modify this line here, so it just extends down into that. Okay, and I'm going to select the whole thing again. I'm going to press on to Unite again just to clean that up. Okay, so there we go, that's cleaned up. Alright, so let's make this a bit more sort of interesting. So some things that I could try are, you could try this as having, you could have it in a circle, for example. Okay, which takes up a lot of space. Alright, so let's make this like a nice orange color. Usually a 100% yellow in CMYK, and you bring this down to like, let's say 50 is a nice orange color. Okay, and let's bring the circle to the back. So you press Shift, Command, and then open curly bracket. Okay, so that's an option there. All right, you might want to have the braid mix now as being a white. Okay, you can see that there's not much contrast there. Okay, you could also try doing things such as, and this is experimentation, you will be printing this out later on. Okay, you might want to bring this down to about here somewhere, so the H and the X is just coming out of that O. Okay, so you could try something like that, or you could even distort the circle. So I'm using the shear tool, and I'm just going to shear this over like this, so it becomes a bit more of a circle that's like that. Okay, this is all a part of the experimentation of the elements and principles of design. Okay, let's try, is that a font? Yes, it is. Okay, let's keep on going. I'm going to move this across, duplicate it again, and I'm going to make some really cool type now. So I'm just going to bring it back to black. Okay, so I'm just going to shift it across a little bit more. So let's change this so that we have a type that is a little bit more 3D. Okay, and this is going to be a trick that a lot of graphic designers use. Okay, so to make this pop a lot more, we need to have be stacking the herb braid mix instance over here. So let's give it a go. So first of all, this color here, I'm just going to change this over to, for the time being, a nice rich orange, which is like 70% magenta. Okay, just so we can see the difference between some of the colors that we're going to be putting in now. So what you do is you select it, go to the selection tool, double click, and the dialog box is on the other screen. And under position, have it as 0 and vertical 0. What did it do 9 for? 0. Okay, so click on copy, and it looks like nothing's done. However, if you change the color to black, you'll notice that this black is over top of the orange. I'm just going to press Command Z just to undo the movement of it then. Okay, so I've got this one here over the top of the orange. I need to now press Shift, Command, and then open curly bracket, so it brings it to the back. And then I go over to my stroke over here, go to stroke, and make that as black stroke. That you then go over to, you can either go over to appearance, or you can open up in window. You can go and open up the, where is it, stroke dialog box, which is on the other screen again. Bring it over here, okay, and I'm going to open up show options, and I have a far greater control of how it looks. Let's increase the weight, and you can actually see now that it's starting to really pop a lot more. Okay, I'm starting to get some jaggedies in here, and there's one way you can fix that, and that is go to the cap as well as the corners, and you make them round. Okay, I don't really like this this empty space there, but we'll fix that up later on. Okay, so depending on what effect you want, I like to have a bit more chunky. Okay, and let's give that a go. So it's all good. I like that so far. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of changes using multiple layering methods of this herb bread mix. Okay, so one way I could do this now, so this is a cool effect. You can even just have this herb mix with just being the color white. Okay, that works quite well too. All right, so let's duplicate that, because that is an option over there. Let's start moving down now. Okay, so we have that as an option. So let's keep on going. I'm just going to select the white of the herb bread mix, and I'm going to press, I believe it is Command 2. It is. Yes, it is Command 2. Command 2 locks the white. So you can see whenever I select this, it's only selecting the black fill and the black stroke. Okay. Alright, so next up, what we can do is, if we go over to the select tool, double click on the select tool, click on preview, okay, and go to vertical and change it to 3 and 3. And let's preview this change. Bit far distance, and I'm going to make this look a lot more 3D. Okay. Let's change over to maybe 1 and 1. You need to experiment with this, by the way. Okay, maybe 0.5, 0.5. And this greatly depends on how big your type is from the start, and remembering that you can resize this later on. Okay, so I think maybe 0.75 for me, for my instance over here. Okay, I like that for the time being. Now, I know it looks awful right now, but you'll see what I'm going to do now. Click on copy. Okay, so now it's looking a lot more 3D. However, if you zoom in a bit, you'll see that there's a bit of a sort of funny kink in there. And to fix that, you do this. You go and select both of them, remembering that the white is non-selectable. Okay, and then you go over to this tool over here, which is the blend tool. Okay, and what you do is you blend from here to here. What was it? Blend from here to here. Did it do it? Let's have a squiz. No, it didn't. Okay, so I'll just show you the blend tool, because I haven't used it for a while. And I have this, okay? Alright, so 2 of these shapes. Now if I use the blend tool, for example, I should be able to go from here to here. I think they need to be selected. Okay, from there to there, so let's go to the blend tool and go here to here, or here to here. I think you need to click on the center point or something like that, okay? So you can double click on this and you might get some blend options. So you can align to path, for example. You could do a few other things, orientate align to the page. And you'd go over to specified steps, and you can change the steps. So you can change it to 5 steps, for example, and you start getting some repetition going on. So I might type in 50 now to make it a lot more smoother. Okay, so let's click on OK, and we'll use that sort of technique on the type now. Okay, so you can actually move this around, which is really cool. See, pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's try this out in this type. Select both of them, and let's zoom in a bit so we can actually see what's going on. And we go over to the blend tool, and we click from here to here. Oh, sorry, from here to here, and now it's blending. Double click on this, change it from a smooth color to specified steps. Click and preview, and change this to 30, for example, and for my instance, anyways. And there it is, nice and smooth. I might change this up to, like, let's say 50, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and click on OK. All right, so that's starting to really pop now, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so you could use that method there. Okay, let's develop this a little bit further. Remember that we need to go to File, Save As, so prevents the computer from crashing. And I'm going to type in this as being branding. Click on OK, and here I have another dialog box on the other screen. Click on OK. All right, so we have this. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. Okay, you see that we've got these over here. Now, I need to access the white layer again. So if we go to Object, we go to Unlock All, and now I can select the white layer again. Okay. All right, so let's give this a little bit more of a more effect here. I might introduce some gold to my type over here. So I've selected the white, okay, and I double click on the move tool again, and I might type in here this time around 0.25 mil and 0.25 mil again. Click on preview. You can actually see here the change of location. Okay, and I'm going to click on copy. Okay, so that's there like that. All right. Now I'm just going to flip this around. So flip it. In fact, do I need to flip it? I do need to flip it. So flipping it, and I'm going to change this color to a gold. I've got a nice gold color value which I can give you, but I might just give you this one here. So this is like a gold color. So this at the moment I've got 26, 36, 111 in CMYK. So this is looking a bit weird right now. But if I press Command, just Command, do not press Shift, Command, and then open curly bracket, you can actually bring this back by 1. Okay. Cool, doesn't look too good at the moment still. If I go back to my white type, and I can change this to fill to, the stroke to black. Okay, and I need to go over to this align stroke, and I can align it to different values. Okay, so the align stroke to outside is what I've selected, and you can see here that I've got this like gold appearing underneath it. I can change the weight of my thickness. Whoops. 0.25. Alright, so you can see here, if I zoom out now, you can see that I've got this real sort of fancy type going on. Alright, so we've gone from this to this to this to this to this to this. Okay, and it doesn't have to be gold. It could be some other really cool color. You can change it over to let's say an orange or something. I'm just going to press Command 2 and to get back to the gold type, and I can change the values around. Okay, so I might change this over to like being a really nice orange again. Okay. Or even a yellow, whatever you like. Okay, so there's some good tips there. Remember that you can actually change it at any time too. Alright, so I just need to find my gold bar thing again, and I can change this over to like a 2.25 thickness to make it a little bit more delicate as well, so it's looking a little bit better in there. Okay, so give this a go if you like. Give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Okay, press Command S to save it, and to bring it onto the pack you can select the whole thing, making sure that you have Object Unlock All. You select that, so everything is unlocked. You select it, you press Command G to group it. Okay, press Command S to save, press Command C to copy it, go to your package, delete the herb bread mix type, and press Command V to bring your type in, and then you can change it on the pack. You can actually put it up on the pack and see how this works on your pack. You might need to change this around a few times to see if it works well or not. Just remember that you've got, this is the edge of my pack there, and this is the other edge of my pack over here. That black dotted line just there is the page, is the printing area, like as if I'm printing it on an A4 sheet. Okay, so just be aware of that. Alright, so there we go. We've got my herb bread mix all set in there. It's given me a center of this between these two. If I want to get the center, I go to the rectangle tool and I go over to make the rectangle the size of the front, and I go over and select the herb bread mix. I then go over to Align tool, which is under Window, Align, and then I go to Center, Horizontal Center, and you see there that it's adjusted slightly. So I just move this rectangle back, delete the rectangle, and I've got my herb bread mixes right there. Okay, all good. And now I have to do the Manjaro one, which is going to be a lot more basic logo. Okay, thank you. Bye.